welcome. Okay, let me get everything set up. Here we go. Over there. Over here. Alright. Get the cobwebs out of my throat. Mic looks on. Okay. So it should be hearing me. That should be good. That'll be hearing me twice. Let's turn that off. Okay. So many more things to do. I think we're good. Who knows? At this point, it's like, I don't know. If anything's wrong, I don't know if I'll be able to fix it. Hello! Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, I have to open my throat a little bit more. Let me get some... I don't know why I chose Gatorade this time. Not sponsored at all, you know, obviously, but, my throat has been acting a little bit weird this morning. That might be why. My votes is gonna be a little bit weird. We'll see. The Gatorade helps with the... soothe the throat a little bit better. But how are you guys doing? That's a lot of highs. Hello. Let's see. Chat's going great. Okay. 26 characters are we doing? We're gonna do 1 per stream. And we go for about an hour. So now we're gonna do number 5, which looks like Terminator. Yeah, so I guess this whole stream is gonna be just drawing Terminator today. Yay. Before this, I was completely in the dark of like knowing next to nothing really about the Terminator series, so let's do a little vote to see, you know, how we should really do this or portray this. Because I know it's like got different forms now, so yeah. Okay, Sasha. Yeah, this is my second round, but this is my 5th character in the second round, if that makes sense. But yeah. We could do a vote to see like whether or not I had some small idea or some kind of inkling of what I wanted to do with this. Or like portray this. Was that? Let's get rid of the other characters. That's for that. Just so we can focus on this one. Okay, I've been using Toon Boom again more recently, so gotta get back into Flash mode. It should just come natural, but it's just like everything's like a lot of the zooms and like pans are a little bit different each program, so gotta get used to that. Okay, there we go. Let's see, get rid of that, got the layers, and we're good. All right. Yeah, I mean we already picked out the 6 characters for this. It's about 2 weeks late for that. So, sorry about that, but I might do, like, independent ones, maybe not on stream. Maybe later, but that might be sparse or, like, not an uneven thing. Because otherwise I want to do more stuff on stream, so gotta move on after this. So, let's see. Yep. Yeah, so the thing was, today was that I wanted to actually research it as best I could, so I just kind of just watched the first movie. So, yeah, I mean, I had to, like, speed up through a couple parts where I kind of, after, like, 10 minutes, it's like, I'm just gonna put the video on, like, twice speed and just kind of flip through that a bunch. So, I didn't watch every second of it, and that's okay. I'm slightly scarred, but, you know, it's gonna be okay. How many of you guys have known the, or watched the movie? Because, that'll help, too, to see. Because not like with the Transformers and the other one, we, ran out of things to talk about because we're not really fans of that thing. So many people have seen Terminator, because then I can figure that out. Well, let's see. You can join the Discord. You had of course, you have to have a Discord account, and then you can join with that link. Yep. Totally fine. I mean, I don't exactly talk too much on there, but if you wanted to, you know, add me on Discord, then I'll be okay with that. but don't be too spammy with it. Kind of like on YouTube where we're not trying to always spam me on every line kind of thing. So just have more polite discussions. Oh, perfect. There you go. So my thing for this was, let's see. Let's make this a little thinner, I think. Do I have pressure? Yes. Let's get this a little grayer. Let's get the reference in front. There we go. So one of my plans was to have it just be like, just a sketchy face. That's just dumb right now. I erased my line for some reason. I'm okay with that. We'll fix this in post, and then. But one of my ideas was just have it like be like a diagonal-ish line that goes through it, and then this will be in shadow, and this will be in light. So he's gonna be like half in light and half in dark. Was my idea. I don't know if that's too corny, but like when I say it out loud, it sort of does. But thick neck, and then it's out. This will be like his human form, and this will be robo form, I guess. And then we'll just go with that. So we'll have a nose, but then like a not nose here, and then like teeth or something. Just a sketch, just to say like this is what I want. It's not good at all right now, but how does that sound? And I can make this look a little better. Otherwise, I think my idea was just be like more traditional would be another way, or have them be either or. Would be either human or disguised for, I don't know, or all robot. But I think kind of having to kind of help both ends with that. Yeah. Let's see then. Yeah, the star kind of like runs the whole. He's on there more on the Discord there. I think we gotta go with this, as I haven't really seen if anyone's actually been replying to what I've been saying, so that's okay. I'm used to it. So I guess we're gonna go with this then. Let's see then. As there's no bigger not people, so I guess that's okay. To this idea, so we'll go with it. Alrighty then. Let's see. So I'm gonna get more of a flushed out circle here, a little better. Try to figure out like what kind of forms and stuff I want out of this. It's gonna be tricky just because with this line now of where everything is. I don't know how realistic. I mean, none of these before have been too realistic, so I'm not really worried about that more so than anything else. But just, you know, just get regular face stuff in here. Again, I'm not exactly a portrait person to be able to just draw humans exactly, so this is kind of my Achilles heelish, whatever you want to call it here. So try to do it quick because I know it's going to be complicated. Of how much I want to get this. That would all means like life skill or life drawings kind of coming back to me a little bit. Just like, oh, I gotta learn anatomy, I guess, for all this. Up, and then like, whoops, I don't know. And then whatever else with teeth, I guess. So we're gonna have like robo form have more light and shadow bits. So I'm gonna try and do something with that. Womp. And then this will be a glowy eye or something. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh yeah, and I said like I'm trying on it too. So that's no worries. Just for, you know, this, I you know, honestly, when I first made it in the Discord, I was like, like 3 people are gonna show up and then they're not gonna talk about anything. So super glad that there's like a whole bunch and I can just keep strolling through all different people and it keeps going. It's fantastic. I don't know where this is going. Hopefully when I color it and make it vector version of it, it'll look a little better. Let's get rid of the first one. Yeah, it's gonna be weird. Let me get the line on top. It'll be the more meow line to it. Okay. Howdy. Thanks, legit. Okay. I mean, this is kind of how I draw regularly, I guess. And then it's just like, oh, let me make it a little better later, you know? Once I kind of figure things out. Probably his eyebrows. Probably should go back in and figure out what I want to do more with this. Because that's the thing I usually forget about. Or in the movie, like, his eyebrows, like, singe when his eyeball gets whooped. I'm gonna do, like, nah. Yeah, it's not gonna have that. He's just gonna be pure robot on this side. Actually, when this goes over, so it should keep going over and then keep going. These will just be like values instead. Like it'll be all black. I'm pointing at it. All black on this side, and then like certain like light points would be little lights. So there'd be like a highlight or something. So I'll just be showing the highlights instead of that. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not sure. No, that's really gonna go. Yeah, this is gonna be so weird. Oh boy. Yeah. Okay. Let's start getting things out. So let's see. Should probably make the square first, maybe. I can make a line on top and then say whereabouts would be good. Maybe a little higher. Because I want to get maybe the nose. I can put it a little bit lower. So it's not a straight up and down. It's now going to be like this tilted amount. Nearly up and down, but just a little bit. And it could be bent for fun. Nah, let's do it not. Okay. Yeah, the emojis are fun. I think I did a couple of those on stream, making Discord emojis. Didn't think I would have as much fun with that as I have. Okay. Because with emojis, you only get like 200 pixels or something, so they're like micro images, so that's pretty fun. Let me figure this out. Let's do the vector version. This is just basic right now, but then hopefully it'll look cooler once we figure it out. Yeah, it's alright if you and did all the techie, codey bits to make things work. Where about the, what am I saying? Where if you say certain words, then certain emojis will appear. I don't know if that's super techie or not, but it blows my mind, so there you go. So probably would just end there. Let me just get the skull, I guess, and then I can add all the bits on top as like a base, pretty much. And then I could just close this. I want to layer it. I want to, because of it in there. So we're only able to add just about to it, and then yeah. I'm debugging as I go, as I didn't really plan this out as much as I probably could have, but I think this makes it more fun. So I could just boop that, and then the rest of it will be that. So this will go down more. It's gotta be like a gestalt kind of a thing. Could do that now for fun, but I think that'll mess things up as I draw it. I'm not sure. Like this edge here will probably not be there, but maybe like a highlight or something around it to just say like, you know, like right there could be a highlight, and then show form, I guess, is what I'm going for. I'm gonna make this way more complicated than it probably should be, but we'll see. Womp womp. I can have his leather jacket, maybe? I don't know. Probably want to get rid of his actual neck, then it'd be easier to then draw his collared thing around first, and then goes around maybe, and then this goes down, And then you're only able to see that, and then his neck can go through there. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just making this up as I go along. Like that. I don't know what my kind of like drawing style is, where it's just kind of like, oh, that kind of works, you know, but how does this work? What even is layered on top? The coat will be on top, so this will go on top of that. So you only see that, and his neck would be like that. I think that'll work. Seems to be that. Okay. Anyway, starting with the more complicated part of the face first. Let's get everything in. Okay. Whew. Alright. Mm-hmm. Pretty emojis. Nice. What nitro? Saying showing that. Oh, okay, gotcha. I guess I'm not a Discord guru to know exactly what it does or if it's super useful. I know it's got extra features and everything, but I don't know if those features are essential, I guess, you know? I don't know what this is. It's just kind of supposed to be like ear web things or something. I don't know. We'll see. And then I can draw hair. Just gotta think about it not being realistic, and it's hard. It's because it's just gotta be. Nah, it's a robot man. It's never gonna be realistic. Okay. I can go out maybe. Could be like these spiky bits, kind of like Sora. If you remember that one, where it's just all these little bits that say, "Hey, it's got spiky hair," like old 80s. Good thing I've like read enough. Like I'm doing all the research to be as accurate as I can with all these. So be happy about that. And I'm trying to respect all these things, you know, as best as I can. Even if I'm not a fan, it's like I gotta, you know, make sure that someone, you know, who's just as might be, you know, like I'm sure the guy who did Transformers and the, I keep forgetting what the other one, Judy Hopps, or like one of those, or the especially the Heather drawn to life. It's like they're not exactly, you know, mainstream, or at least, you know, the most popular characters, you know, ever. But it's like that's someone's favorite to someone, so I gotta still respect it enough that I gotta like research it enough to say like, oh yes, I now understand, you know, enough about it to be a little bit crazy with it. So my my interpretation of these are a little bit better because of that, you know. Let's see where the hole is. So there should be two next to each other, like that. There you go. Okay. I should probably be higher up, maybe. So that should be easy. So I could just draw the eyes and then move them up. Yeah. Ugh. Alright. New layer. I got a reference picture that doesn't have his eyes. Let me see. Squinty-ish eyes with cheek, maybe? Let's see. This can go over there. Alright. Yeah, it's pretty fun watching it. The movie itself, you know, it is, like, the directing is very good. I just ran out of time today, working on other stuff to, like, be able to watch it fully. So, I try my best, but it's just like, I don't have enough time. Gotta flip this and see what it looks like. That's better. Let's move it up a little bit. And then I can... This will be the sclera. So I could get rid of that and then add a new layer of pupil. What's his eye color? Probably brown. I can't see it. Oh, there. Trying to look for pictures. I'm gonna go with brown. Already choosing colors. It's probably a bad sign, but you know. Ew, okay. And then gonna put this on top add a stroke, get rid of it. Now it's an outline for this. Let's say blackish, or maybe it should be just nothing. I don't know. Let's see. What's up? Nothing's kind of going pretty good. Maybe I'll leave it. I don't know, or maybe I can have it, but then make it thinner. No, it feels weird. Maybe just on the top, maybe like that. Now I'll get rid of it. But I do need it to say on top. To have this on top and then add a mask to there, and that works. Okay. There we go. We're building them up. Oh yeah, I was saying like the movie is really good with directing. I just didn't have time. But yeah, I can see all the fun iconic bits were all there. Sounds fun. My original plan was actually to have them like just be there and then just have it like a big, you know, thumbs up. That was black or white. I couldn't see it. But I was gonna have it be a thumbs up with I'm going yeah. So good thing I did watch it. So now I know that he doesn't do that in the first one. So, or it doesn't get acid or melted or whatever. I don't even know in the first one. So that's good because I based it off on the first one just because I watched that one as well. Just like literally like 10 minutes before I started. That's good. I'm gonna move on. Okay. Maybe do some eyebrow or whatever it's called, wrinkles. Just for fun. Just adds more. Let's add more texture and fun to it. Let's break that apart. Let's see. Okay. That should be good. Might be able to just color the not robo side and see what happens. Where I have all of these. That's not good. Oh, I didn't make a nose. Good. I was like, no! My nose is gone. That's there. And it should be there. Okay. This is actually what we have. Great. Okay. Let's start colorizing some of this. Or I can wait. Yeah, let's get the nose in probably first. I'm going out of order. I don't know. I'm just so frantic and just trying to figure this out as I go along. I was just like, I don't know what's going on. Okay. Hate my sketch, but that's why we're redoing it. It's because it's like, that should go up because there'd be two nostrils. The other nostril will be over here. So that's be shaped more like that. And then we just draw a line there. And then that. Yeah. Okay. This could be a fill, maybe. Yeah. It could be more, but they like bold, not really super. Yeah, they get this. Trying to figure this out. Maybe I can move this down. Not as much as that. That's good. Let's fill that out. Just so I can do that to it, basically. And then say whop. Whop. Okay. Whew. Okay. Nice art. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's get mouth. A little lower. Let's see. So it's probably a little bit like whomped. Like that. And then the middle will be like that. And then this will be like that. And I just kind of pull through there. And then say, like, whoa, it's a new shape. And then see what happens here. I don't know what happened here. Probably want to make this a little bit thinner, because I can see sort of what I'm doing really. As I figure this all out. And again, I'm not sure if any of this is at all anatomical at all. That should be fine for now. And then we can focus on the other side. How would that go? It would have to be. I might just have to just sketch it. Let's go back here and make a. Basically, where I want. I'm trying to figure it out. Now I know where most things are, and I can go to where I see them as a robot. And I get a better picture that's lit up. There we go. Okay. Version episode of Aikatsu. Oh, cool. Is that the raccoon secretary one? Sounds familiar. Had to draw this with black, but I'm sure it'll still work because I'm gonna make these the highlights and say like this is where you can see things, basically just what the visuals would be. And gosh, kind of just choosing random shapes from what I see that would be reflective off of him, and then these will become like the gestalt again of what you see. That's Aggressuko. Oh, okay. You never know. But yeah, he's got this womp thing going on. Basic trying to draw what a Sans type robot would look like. Let's see, just drawing more shapes just to fill it out. Like that. Kinda can see maybe there's more of a bop there. See the red panda. That's right. What did I say? Probably not. Probably not that then. Did I say raccoon? That's probably what I said. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. So we'd have follow the mouth, and then he's got like chompers, like teeth. So that's pretty cool, I guess. So for the highlight of it, you would want to see, I don't know, maybe just like some of this, and then I don't know if you actually see it. It's kind of like lower light. Maybe just see like lower opacity somehow of it. I don't know. Once we get there. Okay. Instead of like muscles, it's now these little bits. That kind of go down a little bit further, actually, like that. And then there's this piston thing. Making it simpler in some aspect that it's just like the instead of trying to draw every little bit to make sure that everything makes sense, is like I'm gonna do it in reverse and just show literally the highlights of what I want you to see. Got a little face there. Most of this would be seen, I guess. We can do one more of these. And then fill these in. Okay. I just want to draw that. That looks fun. Let's see. For Kumori? Kuromi. Cool. Okay. Oh. The frog guy. Yeah. I think I had like a Choco Cat watch when I was a kid, and I was like, this is cool. I had no idea who the character was. But I was like, that cat's cool. I'm sure if I knew it was like Hello Kitty or something, I'd be like, it's not as cool. So I have to fill this with white, but I guess I can just do it red and then recolor it all later. In a more, professional setting, I might, try and do this more of a, organized, or organized style to this. But, I'm just kind of winging it right now. Now there's no, no real logic of, like, figuring things out before I do anything. It's just like, well, I think this will work, or I need this bit, so I guess I'm gonna do this now, kind of a deal. So that's what's kind of going on. In a better world, I'd be doing more tests, or like figuring things out more, or setting things up to be what it will look like at the end more, and then focusing on that instead of whatever I'm trying to do here, where it's just like, well, I need this done first, really, to do it, or I don't really need this other thing right now. That's super important right now. Or at least a bit, it'll be more important. But it's just like, right now I just need this done. Because that'd be more important to, like, get more of these weird shapes drawn in than getting the background set up, I guess? I don't know. Because right now these shapes are, like, more important to me than setting up the background and making sure that the colors work and all these other bits. It's like, I just need these going, and then I could then focus more on, like, details and other things I'll need, like the background. So hopefully those should be coming in once I'm done with all these weird shapes here and trying to make it polygonal to make it seem more robotic-ish. It's kind of like how I did the Transformers one, where it's just like, I'm gonna need this bit more done than over there, or I had the Optimus or the Autobots logo, saved that for last, and then did it, kind of a thing. Maybe these shadows need shadows. Or these were the highlights, that's right. That's what I'm doing. Let's see. Are some shapes hard to draw? I guess it's, it's always practice that, like, gets it good. I remember, like, certain, like, making tails, like a monkey tail is kind of hard. Just because it's like making a candy cane shape and then going around, and it's like making sure that see, like how the width here between here and here is different from here to here. So it's kind of like creating a consistent, consistent line weight, width kind of thing, while it's also moving around and twisting around. It's like really hard to set that up. So I would say something more like that is trickier than, like, I need a gourd shape. It's like, oh, I just need, it's like, whatever. Like, I can knock those kind of shapes out more than try to make monkey tails are harder. That's a good question, though. Freehand circles, I mean, you just kind of just get good at it. It's just like, circle, and you just say, like, that's good, And just kind of just move on. If you care enough to, like, make it perfect, then you can just use a polygon-ish tool to get something. But otherwise, it's just like, just keep practicing. And to practice, which people never really just say, is to do it 100 times. Sit there and draw the same shape on a notepad or whatever 100 times. I think the quote is that if you have like 10,000 drawings that are bad in you, so draw it as fast as you can to get all those out. And once all the bad drawings are out, then you can draw good drawings. I think that's how it works, right? That kind of works. And then, yeah, it's like a big kind of shape. So the highlight would be on top, because I'm thinking the light is coming from either the front or the top. So I want to move this shape up a little bit. It's also good with doing lighting. It's just like you have to like determine like where your light source is pretty much like immediately, because obviously if you start changing your light source, you know, if you start lighting things, you know, from one side and say like, oh, the light's coming from here, and it's like, oh, this is shadow. You can't like halfway through say, well, maybe the light is coming from this side, and then you're like, well, how do you then change it? And it's like, well, you have to start over with shading. Otherwise, you know, then it'll be like this way, and it's like, well, then you can have both of them, and it'd be like in the stream. But if it's like trying to do one at a time, it's just like, it better just stick to one. Would be an easier way to do it. Let's go with making sure everything's working with all this. That's working pretty good. The sclera is white against the background, so that's okay with that. Probably want to make the lips bigger, fit more in line with how this is going. So probably want to redraw that, and then say womp womp, and then womp, and then say what do we got, and then I could just do this and then redraw it. Don't be afraid of redraw things. It's another hot drawing tip. Do it again. Especially in digital media. It's like, oh, you can just erase it and then just do it again. You see a lot of like professionals like always like making when they do line work, you go, well, that line's good, but it's not perfect, so I'll undo it and then make sure that that one's okay, and then continue or not. So you'll see that a lot. Let's see. Let's start here. Let's get coloring. We're doing great on time, but I'm sure that's gonna scare me in a bit. So once I get to coloring, let's see how we doing. Candy canes are horrible. Ugh. They're okay. Yeah. I might even practice candy canes and it'll get good at it. I just get so scared of it that it's like, I don't want to do it. Mm-hmm. Let's see. You just want to try to do it IRL. I know. When I did like the Inktober after like doing digital drawings for like forever, I was like, this is horrible. It's like I can't undo. It was so scary. Really just creates like more of a pressure on anything else. And I was like, I really, you know, got to make sure that I'm doing it right and plan it out more as well. Because if you have like an idea for something like that, where you're doing an Inktober or something similar to that, where you're kind of like being forced to do real medium, it's like, yeah. With the Inktober, I was able to just look at the next day's prompt and then sleep on it and go, okay, I have an idea or like a vision of what I think it could be, and then in the morning I could then do like maybe like 1 or 2 doodles and say like, well, that kind of either works or it doesn't. Most of the time it's like, your first idea is usually the most cliched or the most boring, or yeah, cliche that it's just like, everyone's already done it before, so try to think of something more visually interesting somehow by doing a couple more things about it. So usually my Inktober ones were like more interesting ones were ones that I would look online to see, because I would think about it in bed or asleep and going, well, what if it's, you know, smoke? It's like, well, what can that be, you know? Or pullover, and it's like, what are the different synonyms for pullover? And then think like, oh, it's a sweater. Ooh, it's a you're pulling into with a car. It's a, you know, so many different things like synonyms for it. So if one of them doesn't work for you or there's not really visually interesting, then go for the other synonym and see if that starts making something brings out more interesting ideas or visually interesting things. My tip for that. Hopefully that'll work for you. Let's see. His jacket was like bluish, dark blue. I don't know. Something like different colorings, like all the VHS pictures I'm looking at. The posters, like the reprints of them, are all different color shading. So I guess it's like a denim jacket, but I don't remember it being denim. I just remember it being more leathery. Well, I guess let's go more this way. Yeah, I'm not sure. I was saying something. Undo your stuff and think about it more than whatever your first instinct is. So like I could have left with my original sketch. We know how that. There we go. If this is my original sketch and it's like I'm gonna make this perfect, it's just like that's not gonna be, you know, too good. So I did another one, and it's just like I'm gonna, you know, take that and keep going and then figure it out. So something happened here where there's a lot more points than I remember. Let's see. Let's move this out a little bit. There you go. That's true with my cartoons as well. Where I don't just think of the entire script all at once. It's just kind of like it comes and goes. Usually I get like inspired by something immediately and go, let me, you know, think about it like that. Or what if it's, you know, this spin on it? You know, this spin usually comes later on. It's more just like, oh, I want to make something about topic or parody or something. So like, you know, with the game show one that was like a year ago, it was like, oh, maybe it's a, you know, a certain type of game show. Or it started off as like a baking competition, and it's like it still is, but it's like a different sort of style to it, or like feel for it. So it kind of works. Let's make it more grayish, dark kind of a thing. So don't be afraid of your ideas, but you know, also feel like there's still like ideas that you can still like morph them and change them wherever you need to. If you think it'll work, you know, on its own, like if you just happen to have like the mind to say like, oh, well, our first idea is always perfect, and it's like, have someone else look at it. You might be surprised as like your friend or something reading it might say like, oh, well, this works, but wouldn't it be cooler if this happened as well? And then it's like, well, now your perfect first idea is changed a little bit. So it'll never be perfect the first time. It's good to like own it too. That's just like, yeah, like look at my first idea. Look how dumb that was. So, and again, it's like, well, you might be making a good second or third attempt, and it's like, well, you can still change it. Everything's still fluid. So, yeah, that's my advice on that. Let's see how your stuff is going with talking bits. Let's see. Let's see. Always have someone to change your ideas. Yes, that's very important. Might be, you know, it's sad to hear that, you know, when it's like, oh, well, I thought it was good, but it's important to have someone to come around and say like, this works, but also kind of not. So, let's see. Let's make it a little bit lighter, maybe. Yeah. Because with the Midnight Mares project that I'm working on, again, finally gave me the script after 4 years or something while working with him. So, because he was still working on the script, so. And I think he still is. He's still like doing some final passes on it. So he gave me the script to read. And found out that it's like 30 pages. So that's going to be 30 odd minutes of animation. For this animated pilot for Midnight Mares is a whole like empire kind of a deal, where it's just like, oh, it's not one thing, it's like a cartoon, it's a comic, it's everything. Let's get this go back in. There we go. So with the cartoon, it's like, well, you know, when there's 30 pages of stuff and content, it's like, well, let's see if we can pare it down a little bit, you know, here and there. It's like, it's probably not, you know, flawless in execution, and especially if, again, it's not being not exactly a animation buff to know whether or not having hundreds of assets in one scene is probably not a good idea. So you just kind of, you know, have to figure out like how to say like, well, that sounds cool, but also it's probably not going to work as well as you probably think. So I read through the script, you know, after not knowing exactly what the entire project was going to be for years, or what the scope of it was. To be able to read it was really nice. But also realizing like, oh wait, some of this, like I don't know how I'm going to actually, if I was attached to animate it, I don't know how I would actually go about it. So it'll be fun to figure out some of those little bits. Let's see. Boop-a-doop. It always works if it doesn't. Oh boy. Here's Skeleman, and what's this? That's their mouth. Let's color that in. I don't know how pink it should be. I mean, it's still like, still a little darker-ish, I guess. And that kind of works. I don't know, maybe I should pitch it more. Yeah. Closer to that. Let's see how to change this. I don't know. I mean, it's just like a darker color of his regular skin color, what I'm seeing from the references, so doesn't really feel mouthy. Yeah, I'll just do it the regular way I would probably do it. There's his mouth. Yeah. Let's get rid of all that. Let's not get rid of that. I don't know what this is. Where is this? This is here. Okay. Get rid of that. How's that? Yeah, that kind of works. Sure. Oh, this is gonna be great. All right. Seeing it all together is great. Okay. Let's see. Let's make this maybe just thicker would probably just work, and then because he's apparently more of a hero type form in like the sequels, so I guess it's kind of weird, okay-ish enough to do it like this. I don't know. Yeah, that works better for me. Okay. Put the mask on. Okay. Let's make the ear darker. Maybe not as dark, but maybe this color. Let's see. Let's just take this and sconch it down, maybe. Sconch. I might have removed the other bit. Let's make it that color. Just kind of maybe pinch it. This is where it gets fiddly. It's like, oh no, I just want to make it darker, but not as much. There we go. Okay. That works. Okay. There's a good work on the roll bit. That'll be fun. How we doing? Actually good. Alright. So I'll just color these bits, which I've already made them into vectors, so that's pretty much already taken care of. How we doing? I just made it more complicated. That's why it's taking a bit longer. I also just doing humans and portraits with a complicated type thing that I'm trying to do. Probably is lending into that. Not really. But most of this is already done. It's the fun part of this. Let me actually probably just make the background probably easier right now. While I'm here. Let me see everything and then I can do it. Okay. So I can make the rectangle and then say one size 1. Or I can do that. Let's do that. Okay. So it'd be easier now to do it. Boop. And then I could copy cut the bop into here. And now it should be separated. Or I can take these bits and then not move them. There we go. I mean, that works. And then put this one more red-ish. It's gonna be that. And then we'll put this color at the bottom. Let me see everything else. So it should be here. Boop. Yeah, that looks weird. All right. That would be awesome. Inspirational things with happy R-rated movie characters. I don't know. Would you guys buy that? That'd be fun. Let me see. If I move this, where would that go? I think it's the... Okay. That's fine. So I just have to move the robot sketch over. So somebody's wants to be just over. Take some of this. We'll just have to figure out. As I figure some of this out and get rid of some of these bits. Let's make it so I can just only. There we go. Yeah, so something skewed over. Take all this and maybe just scomp it over a smudge over there. Oh, I see. The entire mouth somehow got womped. Okay. If you don't know what I'm saying, it's like I'm something happened and I don't know what happened, but I'm gonna fix it, so now it's okay-ish. There we go. Let's move this down. Okay. Let's make it less of a square, be good. Okay. Let's get rid of this dot. A couple of these dots. Okay. How we doing? Here we go. So now I got the background, so now I can just see how to color it. Would be something like that, maybe, or it could be more like that. Let me get the reference again, because that is super shiny, but I'm trying to figure out like how shiny some of these bits can be. Oh boy. Oh yeah, about the brony thing. I don't think I've literally really said hello, good day to you. I am proclaiming myself as a brony. I think it's just kind of like, well, I'm at a, usually at a brony con in some form. And then it's just kind of like, oh, yeah. It's like, oh, yeah, well, why are you here? It's like, well, isn't it obvious? I think in other forms, I usually just keep it to myself. Usually, I don't really, like, proclaim it to people whenever. I do, as a teenager, it's like, I don't really want to be labeled as such. Just because it's always kind of... It always had, like, this weird stigma. And it's like, well, what does that actually mean? And it's like, I don't want to be part of that. As well as my cartoons, back then weren't exactly the best. Because I was kind of going off the first idea is always good, kind of mentality. It's like, oh, well, I can't do wrong with this idea. It's like, it's perfect. When my execution and everything else is like, oh, it kind of makes everything kind of fall flat. So, before I was doing paper versions, so they were just bad. So, now I can say that because I made them, but, it's like, yeah, they weren't really, stretching the bar in any way. They were like, they just kind of like exist at this point. Or some of them don't even at this point either, which is I'm a little bit okay with. I kind of privatized a couple of them, but, you gotta do it. These pearly whites don't want to make them too weird. but also not. They also have to be different, a little bit colored. I don't know how this is gonna work, but they just have to be like slightly different so you can see that they're a little bit different. Yeah, that'll work. I'll clean it up to see if there's anything that might need to be fixed up, as well as whatever this upper chin thing could be. But yeah, I usually won't. Unless explicitly prompted, I probably won't say, hello, I am a brony. I feel like it's always weird. Even now, it's like, well, that just sounds weird. Just because it's like it's such an old term at this point. And that's like, yeah. Like, what does that even mean today now? It's like, there's nothing really, you know. I'm sure there's toys and everything, but it just doesn't feel the same without the cartoon. Especially because I'm, you know, I use the cartoon so much for my work, you know. It's like pretty much my Bible to check things, you know, to see like, oh, well, I gotta see like how these tulips, you know, are drawn in this world, as I gotta check it in that kind of way. Let's make it lighter, make it darker. Probably could take this whole thing and gotta get rid of, not that, stroke, undo, there we go. Let's make it a little darker. Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted, where it's kind of like this reverse type of image, where it's kind of feels like it's in the shadow somehow. So I have to check each of this. I mean, I could make sure that all these go past and then make it underneath, maybe. So I'm just gonna check all these. And go. Goes past. Goes past. This doesn't. Also, there's this for some reason. Bop. Bop, bop, bop. Go over. Okay. And I can take all this and put it underneath that. And see that that's not straight. Okay. Yeah, I probably won't be messing with everything here, but just a couple bits. Or I can move that. Zoom in. It's pretty much done. Happy with it, looking pretty good. What I could do to make this, I make it into a movie clip, and then I can add a filter over here. Add a glow, and there you go. Looks a little blurry. Let's make it a little bit higher quality. 200. 20. Yeah, there you go. And the surrounding bits could be more affected by that red glow, and then change some of these to be more tinted towards the red that are around the bright red eye. Kind of like that. Just gonna move it over, see if that's actually doing anything. It's not. That's weird. Whenever I move it, I put it back. Any more slight realism into this? I don't know. Some of these other ones I see could be darker. I don't know. What do I have to do this? I could blur the whole thing? I don't know if that would help. Maybe? I don't know. I think his eyebrow messed up. I think they just got morphed. Yep, there we go. So I go out. There you go. If I do everything there. Yeah! Yeah, sure. Oh boy. That was a chat. Did it kind of stop? Because I can't tell. Okay. I think that's good. I mean, the amount of time I have is like, yeah, that's pretty much as best as it's gonna be. So I'm not too worried about that. I'm gonna fill that out just so I can go bop and bop and bop. There we go. Okay. How's that? Next to Ultra Magnus. They're best buddies now. Alright. Gonna step back a little bit. Alright. Not one for caricatures and robots, but there we go. Yeah. Because I know, like, most of the ones I've seen have always been, like, straight up and down, or, you know, here and there of, like, well, he has, like, only his robot eye. So I was like, I don't know, I thought this be more interesting. More of a, less of a two-face, but kind of like more of a, yeah, one of those more infographic things, I guess. Yeah. There we go, we did it on time. Woo! Alright. Yeah, it's pretty much what I envisioned. This is great. Yeah. I can look at it now. Alright. Yeah, I did the color right. I layered it right, I think. That's good. Okay. Because I think for like a hot second I thought the this shoulder was going to be skin color, so that's good. Alright. Yeah, when watching the movie, like even like in fast speed, I was able to see that it's when he was like true form robot, that like when he was moving around in the first movie, he's like, oh, he's a stop motion. I thought that was really cool. And like puppeted in some parts, and it's like, oh, he's just like weirdly, like really jittery. Now, like, you know, nowadays of course it'd be like CG, but it's like, yeah, back then it's like, oh, we'll just move this, you know, giant puppet around. Looked really cool. Especially like seeing him like fast speed. It's like, well, I can really actually see like him like going like in, you know, every other frame. It's like whoop 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 whoop. So that was really cool. I should name him. Is that what you want? Would that help anything? Let's see. What was it? T-1000. There you go. Hang on. I don't know what's going on. There you go. It's stuck in text mode. Is that better? Okay. Whew. Real good work. Thank you. Well, on the robot fine. Because it's like, it's all into your imagination. He's like in his spooky kind of thing. Alright. Yep, great. Okay, I'll go to Toast Time and you'll still be able to see this, but I'll be gone, so I'll be able to hang out for you a little bit more. So, thanks for watching, and I guess next time we'll do Spin Out, so that'll be your cliffhanger for that on Thursday. So, see you then. Welcome back. There he is. He's still there, hanging out with Robot. Robot friends. I can do this. There you go. Oh, it really stands out. That's awesome. Alright. Yeah. I don't know where any of that time went. I don't know where I am. Okay. Oof. I'm just gonna breathe for a bit and get some more Gatorade. That really helped. I think Gatorade's better for my throat. Must be something in the water. That doesn't help as much. How we doing? I got so focused. I get like so focused on these that it's like, I know when I regularly work that I'm not, you know, talking to 20, you know, people at the same time, or I guess in this case like 5 people. You know, I'm not, you know, I'm literally in my basement, so I can't really really talk to like more than one person at a time, so it's not really how I usually operate, so it's kind of, oh yeah, I forgot that he actually said that in the first movie. I don't even know what's in the second movie then, because like, oh, it seemed like, oh, the counterparts are in the first one. I guess the only counterpart was in the second part was a thumbs up, so yeah. I don't know, I can talk about the movie a bit just because I watched it, so I can do like a weird review of it. Maybe not. I don't know. It just feels like an 80s, you know, action thing. Especially felt very, very 80s. It's really incredible, like, that they're able to, like, incorporate so many, like, specifically 80s things into a movie that takes place in time, you know, like time travel. To say, like, oh, well, did we go back to the 80s? Look around and go, yep. Yeah, that's true. If there's more people, I have more people to focus. Like if it's more like a Twitch, like thousands and thousands of people all talking at the same time. But again, most of those Twitch things, they would also just be quoting whatever dumb thing I said, and then like 100 people would say this dumb thing that I just said. So it's kind of like, I don't know what's better. Having a whole mob of people saying usually the same thing, or like mocking you, or like 5 genuine people. So I'll go with this. So thank you. Being a great audience. um, but yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. I have like 10 dots now. I can talk about what other stuff I'm doing then. It's a new month, so I think I'll make. I think about making some more Patreon only posts. So Patreon people can only view like special previews. Might start making that more frequently, just because it feels like, with the monthly videos, I always had something, usually within like 3 weeks. But now it's like, well, I don't know, maybe I'll get, this part done in maybe next couple months. It's like, I don't know. So, might start doing that. I just feel like this is my open. It's like an open mic, but it's just like my diary of random dots that usually go through my head. So, let's see what else on my grocery list of stuff. Yeah. Toon Boom is going interesting. I don't know. Trying to transition is weird. I know it's not, for most people to understand, but it's just like, it feels like an alien made it. It's like the simplest way to describe it. It's just like someone completely different designed Toon Boom with no knowledge of how Flash wants to operate. That's just like, oh, well, instead of doing this, let's do it in a completely different way. So I'll stop on that. That's just like, it's trying to work with it, and just like it's so complicated. Not exactly complicated, just like in retrospect, it's like, oh, I guess that makes sense. Or it's like, if you read into it, it's like, yeah, I guess. And it's like, well, of course there's a button to do that. That's what you wanted to do. So we added a button to do it, but might not be visible, or it's just like not really, yeah, easily understood of what it means. Like I was having to do with like specifically like color overrides, and so that meant to me at first that's like, oh well, it's just changing from one palette to another, or changing a specific color's palette to another palette. But the person that I was retooling someone else's puppet, it's like, oh well, of course they were using it to render specific colors that were in that palette. So it's like, cool. Now that I got that, now I know how to fix it in a way that if I wanted to recolor it, the nodes inside it weren't. Yeah, I think I explained that last time. That's just like with that that flow chart is just so complicated. And it's just like, well, if there wasn't a palette, or like if there was, not having direct, if colors weren't affected solely and only created by a palette, then all of that would be null. And it's just like, well, I'll just have like this random orange, then done with it. Now it's like, well, this color orange is tied directly to this palette, which means that if something else like a node is calling it, then if you change just the regular palette, then it might actually not change the one in the node. It is like, what? So yeah, it's just like retooling like a character that I made before I had the more powerful tools. So I was playing with the essentials and trying to make a puppet, but now that I got premium, I can now go back to the essentials puppet that I messed around with and go, oh look, I deleted some nodes. Or I did this in a completely, way that I probably would have made it in Flash, kind of a way. But now it's like, well, I got now these new tools to say like, well, let me undo some of the ways that I did it before and then try to make it better. But it's like, well, the time to do that now, and I don't know. To bring it back up. But anyway, yeah. Hopefully we'll, get more into it with the now that we got the script. We'll see Yeah, I had like a whole laundry list of different changes. So we'll see when we record it, when we have the voice actors and record it, we'll see if Gan changes any of my lines that I suggested. um, so that should happen this week, so I'm excited for that. But yeah. Exactly. When apps try to make things more convenient, they end up making things more difficult. Yeah. Like with the whole like 2010s like mobile redesigns, it's like let's make our, our normal desktop version of our websites more work, and be designed more for a touch or like smaller display version, so we'll have bigger images and other things that make it easier to do. But if you did it on a computer, it'd just be a horrible experience. So it's just like, just leave it how it is. It's just like we can deal with smaller images and not big headers, or like taking 3 screens worth to like get your like first image off my screen. So nice art, thank you, Crimson. Frozen's website design, exactly. I don't know. It's such a weird thing to think about, but like, I know in college we learned about UX and UI design, and it's like, they the way that like their assignments was to like make it responsive, so we would have like three distinct, like, oh, if the width of this screen is, if the website can figure out the width of your window or whatever it is, depending on what it is on, not exactly what it is on, but just the width of the actual screen size of the window, it can figure out which version to use. So I did some coding with that and try to figure that out, but I'm not, the best at coding, so I didn't really, grasp it. But I understood the concepts that, like, yeah, if depending on the size of the window, then you can change the layout and say like, oh, and if you're on desktop, then you can have, smaller images or like more menus splayed out. When on a phone view or tablet view, then you can have more like hamburger menu buttons where it has like the 3 vertical lines, and then once you click that, then it can do like your table of contents or your menu, or your other windows or other tabs or whatever links. So it's like, that's interesting, but it seems like not every website seems to understand that. More like startup ones, or like more like idea type. I don't know what kind of tech, or like the ones that you would see like if like not exactly name brand ones, they tend to be the more the culprits of that, where they don't respect that UX design. Where their UI, it's like, well, we'll just make it not, function as easily if you tried it on a bigger screen rather than on a phone view. But anyway, how'd I get on that? I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, with having different apps, trying to make it easier, but it's like, well, we made actually Flash actually changed, like the this version is a lot of the buttons, if you guys can still see them, that's fun. A lot of these buttons are like 1.5 to like almost twice as big as like older versions of Flash. Like this whole like vertically would be up to like it would actually be up to like here or something. It was like incredible if you can kind of see it with that blue. From the top would be all the way down, but now it has like this much more real estate to display nothing. So it's like, cool. That's not what I wanted. I had to redesign my entire layout. If you go back to my first live streams, you can also see like how big this was. But it's also, well, that I had like a library version here at the bottom here. I can like just click on the library and a bunch of different tabs. But because they actually changed the UI to be bigger, it's like I can't see everything here, because this also does things when you click on things. I can't. If I click on here, yeah, it changes objects now. It's like, oh, well, look at this. Wait, isn't it great that it fills the entire screen all the way down to here? to be able to see everything. That's not even all of it. Like I can open this up and it's like huge. So like the text size of everything, as well as just adding more things here and there, or just making things, because everything's so bigger. Like everything has to be wrapped around lower and lower and lower, all the way down. So that just became way frustrating. Like when I downloaded this, like, oh, it's Flash 2020, yay! And then you open it and goes, whoa, no! I had to like change my entire Windows and like, well, let me figure it out. So I kind of got used to this now. Now I got, my scenes here, like my frame picker, and like my library's now over here. Like I have my library stacked under here, and it's like you look at this and it's like, well, it would have been half and half, where I could see everything here all at once. But now it's like, well, no, not really. So, yeah. Is that good? Yeah, okay. Okay. Well, I'll stop on that then. Take a break. Let me get more water. That's Japanese. Oh, it's actually Terminator's eye, whatever you want to call him. It was a glowy eye that I just made. It's just white on red. That's why. Quick story about why I became a fan of Derpy. I think, is that in my Q&A? I don't know. I think it's, yeah, it just has like best pony, so it's just like Derpy. Okay. Whoops, I clicked on something. Let me go back. Okay. Quick thing. In 2011, I want to say. There we go. It's just his eye. That's why. Everything else would be kind of similar to that. Yeah. So in 2011, I think I was on a meme site like Cheeseburger or something, and of course, like back then, it's like, well, we'll just have sporadic memes about Pony, here and there. And one of them was like the screenshot of like, I have not seen the show at that time, so before I watched the show, I saw this little GIF of Derpy from Feeling Pinky Keen, I want to say, and it was like Derpy jumping on the cloud, or no, it was the falling Twilight's spying on Pinky, then objects fall down like a piano, and then it zooms up to like Derpy, which I don't think she was named at the time, but like this great Pegasus, and she looks bashful and like goes, whoops, did I do that? So like that was my first Pony experience, was looking at that GIF. So it was like, oh, this is a weird prophecy. And it's like, oh, my first of that was yeah. Is that the first intentional? Wow, yeah. So then like months later, I'd actually watched the show proper, but not exactly as I watched the second episode first and then the first one. It was all messed up. So yeah, my first experience was episode 2. Yeah, not many people can say that. But yeah, like I, eventually like Double Rainbow came out, or like they had the puppets for them, like Flash puppets, and I was like, oh, let me dig around with that and play around with them, and they had Derpy as one of them. And I just had so much fun playing with her eyes. And it's like, oh, I can make them all googly, and it was really fun. And then I just made a couple cartoons using those, basically just sock puppets at that point, where I played with the main 6, and it's like, oh, let me, try and use Lyra. Lyra was like my prototype Derpy, where I had Lyra heartstrings be pretty much how I have Derpy today. Just being goofy and doing something silly. And then it was like, well, let me have Derpy do it. Maybe that makes more sense or something. I wanted to play with her puppet, and it's like, let me do it the same kind of way. And it's just like, oh, that was really fun. And that kind of stuck around. It's like, well, let me do another one. And it's like, oh, well, let me do another one. And it's like, they just had like a lot more fun with her, because I could play with her eyes and be more goofy and have like more of a blank slate with her as well, that I wasn't tied down to. Like even with Lyra, it's like, well, she's kind of has a voice somewhat, but Derpy also doesn't really, but she has a sort of a personality that you can kind of cling on to with both of them. It's like, oh, I just want to have more fun with Derpy. But yeah, That's the short of it. um, yeah, I think I started like watching the series proper, probably like when they were airing like mid season one, so I kind of like caught up around the Philomena one, and then I had to like wait a week. So that was interesting. Wow. Yeah, thanks for bringing it back 10 years. Almost. Jeez. Wow. Oh boy. I can wrap it up, but I think if there's anything else you want to bring up, real quick. Anything else? So I gotta get some dinner and rather just drinking more Gatorade, which is almost done. But yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm enjoying. Yeah. So anything that we got, you know, like it didn't really take as long, you know. If it was, I don't know. It seemed like the fandoms are getting faster and faster. Like, oh, a new show's coming up. Well, let's become fans. You know, I'm sure at this point it's like, well, the show hasn't started yet, but let's create, you know, whole conventions that might be coming up. You know, like I can see like in a couple years after everything's kind of cooled down, it's like, well, this show's coming, you know, in 3 years. Let's have a convention about the concept art. Oh, I can see that. uh, yeah, I got you. But right now it's like, well, you know, my pony kind of started with that. It seemed to be like really instant. It's not like I don't think Star Trek or like one of those had a convention like during its original run. I don't think. I think Star Trek was probably like the first intentional like fandom ish convention. I think in the U.S. I think it was probably like the second generation. I don't know, but probably around then. So, and that's the first one. And it's like, well, if it's already done with the first series, and that kind of tells you how fast we're like getting to becoming fans, kind of thing. Yeah. Friends of Question Girls. Nice. Yeah. That's on Starlight. I mean, at first initial, it's like, you know, like in the season 5 episode, it's like, oh, that's a really cool, like, in-depth, like, kind of a story to her. And then it's like, well, now she's Twilight 2.0, where instead of Twilight, like, running around and having friendship problems, it's like, whoops, ran out of Twilight. Starlight, yeah, go, be friends, haha. So it's like, great, you know, it's like they're still purple and whatever. They're what's it? Adorkable. So it's like, it's yeah, all right. I like her color design. Like her main colors are nice and contrasty and complementary of green and purple. Green and purple are, I think, green and pink are complementary. So it's like it's near complementary. So that's really good. Let's see. Sunset. I haven't watched many of the Crusher Girls, like the mini series or limited series or whatever. I feel like she feels more independent of a character than Starlight kind of got portrayed later on. But I'm not able to really say anything if I haven't really seen most of the whatever season 2 that I keep hearing about to really know. But I know what I've seen that she's much more of a spunky, you know, more independent kind of a character more than Starlight. Whether or not I like one or the other, I mean, I like Starlight more as a character, but also not. Like, I like her character design more. But I think Starlight works better color-wise to their personality. So it's kind of like, well, they both work. I don't know. It's hard to... I think I'm kind of indifferent. I think they're both good. I can't really tell. Oh, boy. So, serve to purpose to show? Maybe. Yeah. Again, like, sorry, I just kind of like showed up to just be, if you know, if you can't really have a Twilight, come in and save the day, it's like, well, let's just have a Starlight. Maybe she can, hang around. Give her something to do. Yeah, our Discord kind of fell into like, well, Star kind of came up with it. I was like, it's whatever, it's if it's for fun, then go ahead of like creating these different factions, I guess, in the Discord that have Greenwater Club. Link it to the description. Whoa, where I guess you can. I don't know how it works, but there's like different teams, factions, faction war of Starlight or Sunset fans. I'm on both teams just because when asked, I was like, I don't know. Even now, it's like they're both. It's hard to say like one's better than the other. I mean, they're both like reformed villains, so that kind of adds a point to both of them. It's like, well, then it's like, I don't know. So, but yeah, I guess if we wanted to join just to be part of this weird group sub thing on my channel thing, it's like, I don't know. It's definitely not mandatory or anything to be in it, but it's just like a fun thing to be onto it. But yeah, I usually just post, the stream links, so you'll be able to see it posted there, as well as post the finished animations, art, whatever on there as well. And then you guys post a lot of like fan art and hopefully not as meme stuff, but like pony memes stuff on there. So yeah, that's what we got on there. Let's see. Yeah, I feel. I know there's that Starlight. Is that right? I get it mixed up. Yeah, the Starlight had that weird like Easter egg thing in one of those seasons where she was like hiding between on like inside of a bush or like at a restaurant. She like had the was that that was part of the time thing. So it's like, yeah, they must have made had the arc of like her going through time and spying on him, I guess, for like weird specific parts, which those parts that when she was there were kind of not really seem to be important, I guess, to time stream, but okay. Maybe I was just misremembering, but that seemed to be only like really impressive like Starlight thing that they did with her, more than like, oh well, like she's like being a pseudo villain again. Oh no, like she took over the castle and then did the time spell for reasons that I don't remember anymore. So, and again, I don't know more the Sunset side to know. I think I watched the last probably thing that I watched was probably the Wallflower one, which also did that have time? No, it just had stop time thing. Yeah, was that it? I don't know. So let's see. That was where Try was late because of being set to different time. Wait, what? Which one is that? Episode prior where Tribe was late because of being sent to different timelines. Oh, that I don't remember what that was, but that sounds interesting. Was that a part of Equestria Girls? Because I don't remember that's one. Yeah, I think that's about it. Sorry, Grisman, I'm not gonna get political with that. Yeah, that's politics. I have a thing in my description and I can talk about it. To please refrain from that. This is fun art zone. No politics here. Yeah, I think it's about it actually. Let me drink some more. It's fun pony time. There's no ponies here, apparently. Alrighty then. Thanks for being polite about that. So going on a rampage. So like, oh, why aren't you talking about it? Thank you. But yeah, that's about it. what was the line? I'll see you again. What's he say? I'll I'll be right back. That sounds right. Uh uh we're right back. I'll be right here again. Here again. I'll be again. Kind of a thing. But yeah, we'll be back next time. So, and we'll finish this round, and then we'll see about the uh next week what I'll do. I don't know. But yeah, for the other comments and other character suggestions, I might talk about it on next time too. Of like the extra ones that weren't a part of these two rounds. I'll figure out what to do with those. Whether or not I could do like a, I don't know, one-offs of those might be a bit much. I don't know. But then I also feel like, well, they're not as important, but they're all important. It's just like, I don't know. That made them to be the first six, pretty much, will get more treatment. So that's kind of to figure out. So that'll be a topic for next time to think about. Let's have a think about it next time. So, yeah. Ugh. Oh, yeah. It was about our argument. Yeah, I get it. But yeah, that's about it. Okay. Let's see. I had to bring my mouse all the way over. Yeah. Thank you. And then, I'll be back here soon. Thank you. See ya. Bye bye.